SFC fans react back with the aftermath. Michael Powers.
First one in 3 months.
Oh, first one, not 2 months I think it is.
Or
but
3. It was October. The last time.
End of October, wasn't it?
No, it was the start of October.
Was it?
The Leeds
Jesus.
game was the last time we did it. It was the start of October. So October to November 1 month, or November to December another one. Then it's like the start of January.
I think it was just apologies, like I said.
Shaun's just waiting for the big games to do the aftermath.
No, I like to get rid of my dog. I was a little bit down. And then I was being poorly and this, that and the other, but look, I'm back, hopefully.
One thing after another happened, didn't it, basically?
I know, I did.
But Shaun's all right, thankfully.
No, I'm back. Yeah. And then I'll be back Sunday as well. Anyway, Michael, on to the game. Thankfully, it's ended. Sunderland 2, Sheffield United 1. Last 2 games has been, I've been going absolutely nuts in the house. I don't know how I've smashed me telly, especially the game on Sunday, where we absolutely battered Stoke, played them off the park, and then
somehow contrived to lose 1-0.
And then we lose the game 1-0. And Blackburn, we should have won that game. We ended through on goals. Falls.
Another late goal
into the keeper.
There. Yeah.
Late goals, honestly, Michael. But look, thankfully, today we have won a big game really against Sheffield United. One of the teams what's around us.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Obviously, good seeing you, Michael, as well. All the best for 2025.
Nice seeing you as well. Yeah. Well, as everyone knows.
Talk us through the game, mate. And
thanks. I'll say this quick. Thanks very much to everyone who's shown support to us for how I've said that 2024 has, to put it bluntly, been shit for me. It's been really, really poor personally. But this is why I was desperate for Sunderland not to be awful at the start of the season, which says how sad. I suppose it says how about my life that Sunderland's about 80% of it. But no, good to see you, and good to see you back. And this is dedication because we're doing this when it's literally just been snowing.
It's
I mean,
like
it might not look like it on the ground, but it was snowing.
It was really bad snowing.
So Shaun had the right idea having a hat on. My hands are going to be like icicles by the end.
Yeah.
My mate Carl, who came up for the game as a Leeds fan, he is being a smug twat right now because he is showing gloves. So he made the right decision to have gloves here, whereas I did not. But right, yeah. I'll say the first thing I'll say is, based on the Blackburn Stoke games, I am buzzing that Mienda scored because, look, don't get us wrong, if you look at the missed chances he had against Blackburn, look, the Blackburn one I can kind of get because it's 90th minute, you've got a lot of time to think, you're running through, it's psychologically, it's a very hard chance. The keeper made himself very big in that one.
7,500 behind the goal as well. It's
absolutely, exactly. And to be fair,
enough.
if we defended the second Blackburn goal properly, that chance wouldn't have mattered. But either
very true.
Yep, everyone knows about me with defending, so it's nothing new at this point. The Stoke one, I will give this. There is no excuse for him not to have at least hit the target there. That was really, really poor from him. But I think some of the stick he's got has been justified, but I think some people have gone over the top with it. Now, having said that, in this one, when he had that chance running through one-on-one, I was thinking, this is the biggest chance of the 3 by a mile because you're at home against a team that you will close the gap to 2 points to with a win. But fair play for showing the composure he did, and it was a decent finish as well.
The difference this time for me, Michael, was he was on his left side. He was throwing goal and he used his left foot where the
he was forced for his right foot against Blackburn, then obviously the header
was just...
So I think... I wonder whether being in front of the Stadium of Light crowd might have made a difference, funny enough.
Possibly,
where there was so many people willing him to score inside that stadium. But no, I mean, actually both of our goals, to be fair, came from a ball forward over the top, didn't it? Particularly the first one with Mienda. He did really, and I thought Mienda was really good all game actually. He managed to control the ball, chest it down, run through with pace, and bear in mind you've got Amir Sodic, I think his name is, in Sheffield United. I know he's not the quickest. I know he's not the quickest, and Mienda's going to beat him for pace. But Michael Cooper, we know he's a good keeper, and Michael Cooper saved them a good result down when we played them down at their place. So really good from that one. Obviously, I would like us to stop conceding goals because it is getting annoying. But having said that, apparently the goal was an own goal from 09, which is just typical our luck.
I was just behind that, Michael. Obviously, I haven't seen the video on the telly, but one of their lads shot in 09. He just basically got his head in it, and it
tried to block it. Yeah,
the shot was actually going wide. I could see from the angle I was at, it was going wide. But 09 was just going to. Trying to get his body on the
if 09 doesn't get. To be fair, if that is right, because I haven't seen it back at the time of speaking. But you're a wet dog.
I'll be smelling like one later.
I know. He's a good puppy. No, to be fair. Right, if 09 hadn't got a head onto that and it ended up going in, then we'd be saying, why didn't you get a head on it? So to be fair, look, I'll need to watch it back because I haven't seen it back yet. But I was frustrated at that point because I thought all that hard work got done because of the moment of that. But to be fair, Isidore did outstandingly for the winning, well, what ended up being the winning goal. He managed, there was a ball, I can't remember who it was, it might have been Meander or it might have been Joby, put the ball to the left byline, and then Isidore beats his man, has the strength to hold him off, and then have a great and then have an angled finish in the bottom right corner past Cooper.
Yeah.
And again, we know how good a keeper Cooper is, but you're right though, to be fair, I have said before that after Stoke, because I was at Blackburn and Stoke, and after Stoke I was absolutely livid, to be honest.
I can imagine.
And I'm not going to lie, I think the Stoke defeat for me is the worst defeat of the season by some way.
Just the way it happened and the way we.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that, look, Plymouth, for example, are right down there. But I felt Plymouth at least second half offered something against us, whereas I felt Stoke for the most part were really, really poor. But either way, though, to be fair, but I did say at the time, and again, Paul had to listen to me rant on the way back to the station, but I did say it would be typical Sunderland to lose to Stoke and then beat Sheffield United.
That's exactly what's happening.
And also, by the way, it's not just a Sunderland thing; it's a championship thing.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Yeah,
make it absolutely make sense. But to respond from that with a victory today, and bearing in mind, I know Carl obviously won't want me saying this, but Leeds drew in the last minute.
Drop points,
thanks, Danny Bart, I suppose.
Burnley.
But the big one for me was Burnley, because in my head I've accepted that I think Leeds will win the league anyway. But I felt that, right, Stoke, don't beat us and then go roll over for Burnley. But to be fair, Stoke had some decent chances today, to be fair.
Didn't see it, so I couldn't really comment.
Me and Paul watched a bit of the game.
Right.
Like, Stoke actually were all right.
Yeah.
And Mark Robbins isn't a bad appointment for them, to be fair.
Oh, it's a fantastic appointment.
Either way, though, like the fact with Burnley winning, I thought, well, that doesn't mean anything, because if we'd lost tonight, top two wouldn't have been done mathematically by any means, but you would have been 8 points behind Sheffield United, I think, if you'd lost.
Yeah.
And I think from there it would have been a massive ask to try. It's still a massive ask anyway for top two, but it's especially it feels like you're climbing Mount Everest if you're going to overturn an 8-point gap over Sheffield United. But they're going, sorry.
But we've closed that gap, Michael. So I think from where we are now, it's 2 points.
We're 2 points off Burnley and Sheffield United, if my maths is right.
That's what I'm saying. So we're still in that mix. It's like we're in with a fighting chance, but we've got to. The second part of the season, I think Wilson Eagle said, let's make 2025. His tweet when he said, let's make it our year or something like that. We need to be seeing games out, not conceding stupidly at goals. And will the board, Michael, go out and will they push it a little bit, or will they think, well, no, if we don't go up this season, we might go up next season? I don't know what their sort of intentions are, to be fair. I'm not really sure.
Sorry, people, I see me blowing off. It was absolutely all over the place. To be
well.
honest, right, I've had a cold constantly. I've had flu constantly flu or cold the last month is ridiculous. I'm never this ill. But either way, I think this is where I've said constantly, and I've said it on Twitter loads of times, I said it on my channel loads of times, I've said the crucial thing to January was to make sure you're in the mix for automatics, because the biggest thing I've noticed is that with the gap being 2 points, it's a massive opportunity. And I've said all along, this is why, for example, at the end of last season in the playoffs, I wanted a Leeds Southampton playoff final, because you're going to have one of the other relegated sides going straight back up. Now, I think from what I've seen, now having seen us host Burnley, Sheffield United playing them twice and see Leeds, I still stand by that. I think Leeds have been comfortably the best team I've seen. Out of everyone we've come up against, I think Leeds have been really, really good. Yes, okay, there were patches where they sat back, but that's obviously that's going to be happening, because I think teams hopefully are going to start the fear coming here now.
Hopefully.
Because
we're still unbeaten this season at home, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong, whether we probably won't finish the season unbeaten at home. But at the end of the day, that was massive, because it showed the character from Sunderland to be able to grind it out and to be able to see it out. And I think, and to be fair, actually, I thought the fans played a big part at the end today when you probably heard that it was like a constant roaring, singing, and honestly, I sound close to bloody Batman because of how gone my voice is.
Michael, you've got to think as well, last season our home form was absolutely abysmal. To this season, to go from that to this, I think Regis Lebris deserves a lot of credit for that.
The one thing I've said before about Regis Lebris that is something I still think he could be better at is making substitutions earlier to help the lads out.
100%.
That's the only thing.
100%.
That's the only thing I can criticise him. But again, that is not me saying I want him gone, because anyone who says anyone who's trying to even remotely say he hasn't done a good job is deluded. He is so far.
He's done a good job.
No, the only 3 teams that are above us are parachute payment teams.
Exactly.
Let's be honest. I know Luton are doing really terribly, but that's kind of the outlier. Parachute payment teams, when they come down, tend to stay the course at the top.
Advantage of them because they've got the money there.
Well, exactly.
You know
but to get back to the point you made about the window, look. Obviously, let's make sure we beat Pompey. And by the way, I think the fact we play Pompey on the Sunday, I think could be a big thing. That extra 24 hours of recovery. And obviously it could work for Pompey as well. But point is, this month is massive. And I'm talking for KLD, for Speakman, for Harvey and everything. Now, let's say if the board think, we can go up next season. Well, you've got to bear in mind, Ipswich will come down with the champion. If Ipswich come down, they come down with the Championship super team.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Leicester and Southampton, I'm not as fearful of as what if they. Let's say all 3 promoted teams come back down, right?
Yeah.
Leicester and Southampton, I'm not as concerned as what I was last season, but they're still going to be, I think, at least as good as what Burnley, Sheffield United, Leeds this season. Sorry,
definitely.
So for me, this season is a massive opportunity, and I'm really hoping. And by the way, we should be in a position with having some of the Clark money left to be able to go out and pursue some really good players.
Yeah.
The thing I've said before is, and one of my mates has said this all the time. What we need now, in my opinion, is an equivalent of when we had the League One promotion year. We had Danny Bart, Corey Evans, Patrick Roberts, Jack Clark. And there's another one, and I've forgotten who it is. Alex Pritchard.
Yeah.
Now, to have them signings in League One, frankly, was a criminal offence. Let's be honest. To have them in that league was mental. We need something similar to that now, where we have players who are maybe either definitely top 2 championship quality, or dare I say, bottom end Prem quality that aren't getting minutes at certain clubs. Yeah. So, Jack Clark on loan. No, to be fair, that's Chip's.
No, would you take him back?
Well, if there was a chance to get him back on loan, yeah.
But Mundell's doing really well, isn't he?
The thing you'd have to do there is look, I don't think Ipswich will have Clark up for loan. That was a joke, really. But my point was, if you did get him back on loan, you'd probably have to have Mundell be back to being second choice, really, which is harsh on him. Yeah. But Clark's just a different level, isn't he? And Watson maybe go out on loan, possibly. Although no one will.
Watson looked the part.
No, I think Watson looked really, really good. But the point is, this window is an absolutely massive opportunity, and I'm really hoping that the board don't just go, well, we're 2 points off with what we've got. We've got players coming back from injury. This is where, I'm guaranteeing you now, and Colin right, Leeds, for example, at the top, will want to make sure they stay at the top.
Of course.
Burnley and Sheffield United, I can see, for example, right, Sheffield United, Harry Suter, the guy who got sent off against us at Bramall Lane, right? He's injured for the rest of the season. I bet you bottom dollar Sheffield United will go out and sign a centre-back to cover for that. That's the point. Now, I don't think you need to go out and spend 2 million, 5 million, 3 million. Go out and get 2 or 3 good loans, good loan deals. That's what the window's for. We know how inflated. We know how inflated the January window is. So go out and make sure that you get 2 or 3 really good loans that will push you over that line. Whether it's either get second place or win the playoffs at the end of the season. So this is where. It's almost as big a window as the last one was for them, but for different reasons.
Well, it is because at the end of the day, Michael, the last window we were unsure because they
come back off 2 mediocre windows really, by their standards.
Really bad end of the season as well. So we weren't sure what we're expecting this season, but now we know we're in the mix and we can sort of mix up all these top teams. Leeds, Sheffield United.
Well, look at the 3 teams above us. We played them all at home and took 7 points from those games.
So we
shouldn't have lost to Sheffield United either.
We are more than in the mix now. So the board's got to look at this. Surely, Kilday's got to look at Speakman and Stuart Harvey and think we've got a chance here. So if we can look at some Premier League players who's not getting games and they've had that little bit of quality.
Exactly. This is what I mean. In times when, I'll give you an example again. I know I mentioned Leeds quite a lot. I promise it's not just because Carl's on the other side of the camera. But the point is, right, if you look at Leeds' win at Derby a few days ago. Now, Leeds, from what I remember, were kind of struggling to break Derby down. Straight away, bang, Solomon on the pitch, James on the pitch, bang, 1-0 win. That's exactly...
Leeds always find a way, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
You were thinking, I'm hoping it's 0-0 and Derby get a draw. But then, was it 80 minutes, I think, when they got there?
It was like 79th minute or whatever it was. Look, so to be honest, I know that Leeds and Burnley drew today, and obviously that's why it made tonight's win even more impressive. But point is, I just really hope that the board, and this is coming from someone who's generally been a fan of the board, maybe a bit less with KLD, but still he's got to get credit to him, to be fair. But this is where I want to see us really push the boat out. And again, to be clear, when I say push the boat out, I don't mean go out and splash everything at it and forget to think about past the next 6 months. Because if you look at what Hull did last January, they got a couple of really good loans, granted, but they banked everything on going up last season and they didn't even make the playoffs. You've obviously got to have some strategy to it, but I can't stress enough. We're 2 points off second place. There's a real good opportunity. If you push out for those extra couple of quality loans, think what a difference that could make at the end of the season.
Michael, there's nowhere, you even know this as well, deep down, there's no way these are going to go push the boat like Hull did and really go for it and throw all the cards on the table.
By the way,
they're not going to do it.
To be fair, I don't want them to do it that way. But what I do want them to do is, look...
Too cautious.
Even if it was 2 or 3 loan deals, right? The difference is, Hull... Right, the difference is, if you compare it to Hull, right, when Hull did that last summer, from what I can remember, they hadn't sold an asset and had money to then spend. We've done that with selling Clark. We've done that with selling Clark. We've got Mundell and Watson, and that's the example, by the way, of what I talk about, the model or the contingency plan. But the point was, you should have some of that money left, and that should pay for the really good couple of loans and still be sustainable while still having a go at the same time. Again, look, right, to sort of start to wrap this up, because I know I'm keeping poor Shaun.
Nick's away.
Yeah, and Nick's, and I want to talk to Nick, absolutely.
Nice, he's away, he's gone straight there.
Oh, is he? Well, look, either way, right. Tonight was massive, and to be honest, if I quickly finish talking about the game, maybe, unless I'm having my red and white tinted hats on, I thought we deserved to win it.
I did, I mean...
There was a couple of times when I thought the ball bobbed around the penalty area, and we had to have a massive scramble to get the ball away. But in general, Sunderland by a mile created the better chances, and if we had our finishing shooting boots on, I'm genuinely not kidding, we could have won 4-5-1.
Yeah.
If we'd finished our chances,
we had chances.
So this is where I'm hoping that like Carl said earlier in another interview, if Sunderland are the Ipswich of last season, well, I'll take that because Ipswich finished second. But point is, while Ipswich were at the top, they made sure they got Kiefer Moore and stayed at the top too.
Yeah.
This, to an extent, while still being strategic, is what I want Sunderland to do this window.
Yeah.
But either way, that's a massive result. It's an absolutely massive result, and again, the automatic promotion race is there for the taking.
Definitely.
Whether we make top 2 or not, again, it's a massive ask. But even if you don't make the top 2, sign players that'll make a difference in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because I'm very confident, unless we have a Michael Beale mass disaster class, unless we have a Michael Beale level disaster class at the end of the season, I am very, very confident we will make top 6 at minimum.
Yeah.
I think we, and to be honest, I would go as far to say if we don't make the playoffs at the very least, it's a failure.
Oh,
to finish 7th or below would
from
be...
where we are now, I mean...
Absolutely.
You know.
And so look, we'll wait and see. But look, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
For me, it's going to be a case of a consistency level now. We're
still in the mix. That's the main
We've got to see games out. We can't be conceding late goals that we have done. We've fought in winning games.
Apart from Coventry, we've generally at home been very good at doing that.
Yeah.
It's away from home. Well, apparently Graham Falk, again, great podcast, What the Falk, but he said that I think we've cost something like 9 points away from home in the last 10 minutes of games. Which is like really frustrating, isn't it?
The key
look,
word,
we should be in the top 2 right now.
Key word for me is consistency, Michael. We've got to be, if we want to finish in the top 2, we've got to be consistent.
Chance of it, yeah.
And I'm hoping that the board will just, look at this as an opportunity and say, look, let's
go for it a bit.
Let's just have a.
And at the end of the day, if you do it and you don't get promoted, if you're still in the summer, you'll still have the assets to sell if you need to be able to be self-sustainable. And at least then, people can't say that the board didn't go for it. If they push the boat out just a bit and just spend the rest of the Clark money, I'm talking like wages, loan fees, whatever it is, fine. And if you don't do it, then that's on the players and the manager. So, but we'll wait and see. But look, massive win. Let's hope 2025 is our year, but long way to go.
Yeah, Michael, that was a pleasure to speak to you, pal.
Nice to finally see you.
I know, because I've been, honestly, I've had the flu twice in the last couple of weeks.
I'll tell you what, I'll just quickly have one last idea before we wrap it up. Remember the video we did in the summer? When we did a long sort of video?
Yeah.
Maybe you could do one
in January.
Sort of do it in the next couple of weeks. It was up to you, obviously, but if people wanted to see maybe me and Shaun go through maybe what we want to see in the window, or maybe go through the first half of the season, or
do that at the end of January and when the window shuts.
Good shout.
See where we stand, you know what I mean?
Well, let's hope that Carl and Misa and all us, let's say Leeds and Sunderland fans are happy at the end of the season and we're top 2. But
Leeds and Sunderland in the top 2, huh?
Yeah, imagine that. What a top 2 that would be.
Subscribe to Michael Bowers. Remember, go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Excellent YouTuber. When you want to watch somebody to talk about a game,
waffle about clean sheets as well.
This is your guy. I'm telling you, he's absolutely brilliant.
Subscribe to this because it's good dedication when Shaun does all this, does the aftermath and does the interviews, especially right now when it's feels like minus 20 degrees. So yeah. Anyway, on to Sunday. Let's hope we get a win on Sunday.
Yeah. I'll see you on Sunday. Cheers, Michael. Cheers.